Hey guys, it's Cassidy from Daigle Farm coming at you from our grow room. Today we're going to work on some more microgreen trays. We just about sold everything that we had growing 2 weeks ago. We've got a replacement crop of zesty blends coming in. That should be ready in about a week. Some more pea shoots, some scallion microgreens that aren't doing so hot. I'm going to try to switch it up this week, try a different method of growing. And we've got some cilantro finally starting to peek through over here. So Dylan was kind enough to wash all of the microgreen trays for me this morning. So we've got 8 clean ones. And we did shuffle around some room in the greenhouse, in the grow room rather. So we've got some room for them to go on these benches. So I'm gonna get to it, start filling them up with soil. And first, before I do that actually, I'm going to weigh out the pea shoots and the sun shoots. So I can get those soaking, because we do like to soak them prior to planting them because it kind of helps open up the shell a little bit, we've noticed. So yeah, let's do that first. Okay, to do our microgreens, I have 2 bags of, well, one of them is sunflower shoots and the other one is dwarf gray sugar peas, both from Johnny's Seeds. We get the big bag, what is that, a pound? It's gonna be more than that. Oh, 5-pound bag. Okay, so we got the 5-pound bags. We're gonna need 2 wide mouth jars, and then we have these microgreen mesh lids. Well, they're not even just for microgreens. I think they're actually for sprouts. But we have these mesh lids that work perfectly to put on the tops when you're done, so you can drain all the water and you don't lose the seed. So we have our produce scale here. I'm gonna turn that on. I'm gonna zero out my ball jar. Oh, cool, already zeroed out. Let's turn that light on. And let's start with the sun shoots. So the sun shoots I usually like to do about 3/4 of a pound for 3 trays, but I'm actually gonna try to do 4 trays today, so I'm gonna try to get it to an even pound. They weigh a lot less than the sugar peas, so hopefully it'll all fit in one jar. Let's see. All right, as you can see, I did not get a full pound, but I did get a full jar. Let's see what that gets me. I might be able to distribute that between 4 different trays, and it won't be a big deal. Okay, let's do our other one. Tear it out. Grab some seeds. And this one, I am looking for a pound if possible. I'm gonna not spill it this time, hopefully. Oops. Wasn't paying attention. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, now I'm going to cap them. One lone sun shoe. Now I am going to take them over to the sink. Actually going to turn on the warm water, just because usually I'll put these seeds in here and let them soak for a couple hours, but I'm not going to do that because I want to just get it done. But if I use warm water, it should kind of help that shell open up a little more. you have to do this, but I'll usually kind of swirl the seeds around a little bit and dump it out a couple times before I let them soak. Freshen up that water a bit. Now we are going to leave these here until we are ready to plant them. It'll probably be about half an hour once it's all said and done and I fill all of the trays up with soil. So let's do that now. Each flat gets 2 scoops of dirt. This is a 8-cup scoop. I go in with my hands, kind of break up those clumps, even out the soil as much as I can. Tamp it down with my scoop, with my tray. Done. Before I plant these, I will water the soil. That way when I put my seeds on top, it's gonna have some good wet soil contact to start the germination process. I was trying to do the math the other day on one of these microgreen flats, and one of those seed bags, these Coast of Maine potting soil bags, cost about $15, and I think it gets me about 8 of these microgreen trays. So it costs about what? Yeah, $2 in soil each time we do microgreens. Okay, I just got 8 trays filled. This one's a little bit more of a flimsy tray, but that's okay. I'll stack them on top of each other so I can fill them up later. I did forget though, I have something in the oven. One of our neighbors was kind enough to make, she's calling it enchilada pie. Came in like a bread loaf pan. And she made 2 of them. So she was kind enough to give us one. We go back and forth every once in a while. I'll make lasagna, give her some, whatever. So nice neighborly, you know, nice neighbor, nice neighborly.
I'm so confused. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Anyways, that means my microgreens are gonna have plenty of time to soak. So I'm gonna head upstairs right now, take that out of the oven, eat some lunch, and when we come back downstairs, I will plant all these trays. Also, I wanted to know, I definitely have more soil left. So I don't know where I came up with that number that it was only gonna get me 8 trays. I'm thinking I have enough in here probably to get me at least 2 to 4 more trays. So I'm gonna fill those up as well when I come back down. Just so I can get a little more of an accurate count of how many trays I can get off of 1 bag of soil. Look at that, just in time. Let's check it out. You can't see anything. Enchilada pie. Getting nice and bubbly. I think it's done. Let's take this puppy out. Oh yeah. That looks good.
One hour later, 2 hours later, 3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
Okay, lunch was delicious. Dylan and I's plate, well, actually I gave him a bowl because I didn't realize it was better with a bowl. But anyways, polished it off. Done. Delicious. I took a little nap afterwards. Did not see that coming. So now I'm going to head back downstairs and I'm going to finish those microgreens. They have now had plenty of time to rest in the water that I put them in. The dogs are joining me this time. All right, we're going to rinse or drain these rather. Look at that. Kind of soaked up some of the water. There was at least this much room, which means they expanded, which is actually a good thing. Hopefully I didn't soak them for too long. I don't think so. Let's drain that water. Wow, not even a lot of water to drain. All right. Now we've got our ball jars. Let's head on over to the microgreen trays. And Dylan has been in here since I was last here. He potted up all of these apple trees and grape cuttings that he did in the fall time that have been soaking in the grow room. So that's cool. Oh, and he finished potting up the green cabbage. How sweet of him. Very nice. All right. Let's get this going. So I'm going to start with soaking my soil. There we go. Let's do our pea shoots first. And there's no exact weight to it once I begin distributing them. The pea shoots are a little bit easier to work with because if you end up, accidentally piling them in one space more so than the other, you can move them. The tinier seed is a little trickier because once they're on there, it's hard to see them and it's hard to move them around. I'm thinking this is only going to be enough for 3 trays. Oh, I'm getting a little stuck at the bottom. Trying to break up those clumps without really squishing the seed. Woo. My hand just fits in a wide mouth mason jar, but it still gets a little nerve-wracking every time I go to pull it out. All right, that looks pretty good. Dropped a couple. Okay. Oh, looks pretty good. Spread some of those out. Now I am going to grab an empty tray. And I'm going to damp them down so there's contact with the pea shoots and the wet soil. Alright. And now there's actually some space on the top row of the microgreen, or just the grow bench really. It's not always just for microgreens, but we did build it, I want to say 2 winters ago, just for microgreens. And because we were running out of grow space. But there's a top rack up there that I'm going to put them on, just so I have a space again that I can start doing 4 more. It's much easier to do it from this height than it is from that height. And when they're first germinating, they don't need any light. So we're actually going to take another one of these black trays and put it over the top of them, kind of to force the germination. They don't need some seeds need light to germinate, but all of these microgreens do not. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. My flimsy one. This one's gonna need 2 hands. And then we shall repeat the process again. Grab one more. This one is broken. That's all right. Waste not, want not. It will still work. Usually we'll also mist over the microgreens that we just planted, just so they get that little extra attention before they go. But because they were soaking for so long, I'm not going to do that. I don't think it needs it. Ooh. Now I'm wondering, oop, silly pea, I'm gonna stick it in there. I'm wondering if I'm gonna get 4 out of these sun shoots. The sun shoots I worry about a little bit more because they have been a little bit more finicky. I've had trouble growing them in the past. I think I've finally nailed it down, but Dylan did them last week and I accidentally let them sit in the water. I forgot about them overnight, so he planted them the following day, and it must have been soaking for too long because they did start to grow, but then they got moldy, so we just junked them. Nope, this one's only going to get me 3 too. So hopefully I didn't let these sit for too long, but I think they'll be okay. The key is to have good drainage in your flats as well, and these ones do. Dylan cut holes in them, so I think they'll be okay. I'm a little heavy over here. I'll just distribute some. Oh boy. It's like I know it's not going to get stuck because I've done it a gazillion times, but yeah, it might be that one time I'm not so lucky. The one Lone Ranger. Okie dokie. These look pretty good. Again, put that off to the side. We're gonna grab our empty tray. I'm going to tamp these down. And these ones I will actually cover with a little bit of soil. I don't know if that's necessary, but I've had good luck growing them by doing this, so I'm not going to deviate off of the path. It's a nice thin layer so they can poke through as soon as they're ready. I think that's like a rock. So we had recently talked about getting some microgreen flats. They're a little bit more shallow than these regular gardening flats. So you get a little bit more of the stem when you go to harvest them. And he knows they're on Johnny's Seeds. They're about, I just looked them up too, $4 a piece on Johnny's Seeds. However, they don't have any slots at the bottom, so he'd have to cut them in himself. So depending on the material, the sturdiness of the plastic, is it really worth doing that? I'm not sure. I also found some on Amazon from this company called, what the heck is it called? Like the Sturdy Farmer or something like that. But they want, for a 10-pack, it's about 60 bucks. So that's $6 a piece, a little bit more than Johnny's, but it comes with the holes. And it comes with multicolors, and I was almost sold on that alone. But that's just to tell you that, you know, everything does add up. Some people might look at microgreens and think that it's a really good side hustle, and no doubt it definitely can be, but the initial cost can add up between the soil, the seeds, the equipment you're using to grow them in. So it's just something worth considering before you decide to buy a big old bag, a 5-pound bag of sun shoots from Johnny Seeds. We've also tried growing mung beans a few times, and I have not had very good luck with those either. So if anybody has felt the same way and has had bad luck with mung beans, let me know. Let me know if there's anything you did that actually worked. They were just super finicky for us. All right, just for safety again, we'll give it another tap. And we're gonna get our mister on. I don't know if you can see, but the nozzle to this hose came off. We don't know where it went. It probably just broke off, so it wasn't able to be put back on. But so we don't know what we're using every time we click it. I should probably learn, because these are all different pictures of what hose head it is. But it's kind of like, you know, Russian roulette. Every time you go to water something, are you gonna get soaked? Is it just the mister? Is it the garden spray? Kind of funny. But it still works. So we're gonna use it until it doesn't. Where are these guys gonna go? Let me think. I kind of have to leave them here. Wow, we are just absolutely maxed out on grow space these days. Let me see. All right, so I can fit one right here. I can fit one more in this black tray, and then I can fit one more right here. So that's at least 3. Oh, and I can fit one right here. This hasn't even been used yet. Lovely. I do usually like to keep everything that's the same next to each other. Just makes it easier, but when you don't have a choice, you do what you gotta do. I forgot that's got holes in it. So you're gonna wanna put a tray under that so it doesn't drip onto your light. Let's see. Hopefully that gets enough airflow. I don't really have a lot of faith in that. At least this is kind of open, but that's all right. Okay, I've got 2 more empty trays. And I am without, oh no. How'd that happen? Oh, they just fell in here, I'm thinking. I'm seeing some sun shoots. But I think it was just a mistake. Thought at first I grabbed the wrong one. But I would be seeing way more if that was the case. Just gonna go stick them in the other tray. Okay, anyways, we've got 2 more trays left, and I'm without a doubt going to use Zesty Blend. I'm even going to try to find some more empty trays because we have been selling out of Zest. Woo! See what I'm saying? We've been selling out of Zesty Blend every week, so people really like it. Got a little on the camera. that sprinkler roulette. Gotcha. All right, Zesty Blend. So we had a nice metal scoop for this guy, but I do not know where it went. So we had to grab another one. Let me go see if I can find it. All right, we've got a nice 1/4 cup scoop. Like I was saying earlier, the tiny ones, it's kind of one and done. You're not going to really be able to move them around once you sprinkle them. So I try to be a little more careful with those guys. Microgreens for today. I have some empty flats. I really wanted to get some seeds planted, but we are absolutely maxed out on space. I could get rid of some of these, like this Eastern Magic. It didn't do anything. I'm even thinking maybe I could just plant over it. So I might do that. I might not. We'll see. That's it for today. Thanks, guys. Don't forget, that's Simply Growing Food.